Can ChatGPT be more than a bot and really help you practice English? Or is it just a big scam? To answer this question, I held many conversations with this so-called AI and learned that yes, it can help you practice English speaking and also remember new vocabulary like no other tool. So, if you're looking for new ways to practice English and become fluent, today I'm gonna show you 7 ways I found to practice English with ChatGPT and remember new vocabulary and phrase structures in minutes. And I also prepared a free PDF you can download down here, making you free to use these techniques whenever you like. So, if you're ready, let's turn ChatGPT into your English tutor. Whether you're taking a course or practicing English by yourself, you're likely learning a lot of new words and expressions. I mean, studies suggest that an intermediate learner comes across 10 to 15 new words each day for a grand total of 450 new words each month. Or at least that's according to my computer. Even if they're really smart, like yourself, remembering all of these words requires a lot of effort. And some words are also very difficult to grasp, right? Well, worry not, my sublime friend, because ChatGPT is right here to help you. You only need 2 things, ChatGPT and 5 words you want to learn. Yes, you can do that even with 10 words, but I've tried this with many of my one-on-one students and found out that the sweet spot is about 5. They're more manageable to remember, and especially, they don't require much time, making these ways effective even on a tight schedule. So, let's pretend that your list of words you want to learn is sweet spot, tight schedule, grasp, sublime, and manageable. And yes, if you realized I took these words from this video, that's because you're smart. Basically, you want to ask ChatGPT to give you the meaning of these words, together with an example, and then you'll just repeat the example out loud. Here is what to say. Hi, I'm learning English and want to practice some new words. Please help me understand these words. Sweet spot, tight schedule, grasp, sublime, and manageable. For each word, first you'll tell me the meaning using very simple words, and then you'll create a phrase I'll have to repeat. After each phrase, pause so I can repeat it out loud, and then you'll tell me if I'm correct. Please use simple words and make very short phrases.
Let's start. Sweet spot. This means the perfect point or place where things are just right. Example phrase, this is the sweet spot for the meeting. Now you can repeat.
This is the sweet spot for the meeting.
Great, you did well. Now, let's move on. Tight schedule. This means you don't have much time and things are planned very carefully. Example phrase, I have a tight schedule today. Now you can repeat.
I have a tight schedule today.
Perfect. Well done. Next up, this means to understand something clearly. Example phrase, she has a good grasp of English. Now you can repeat.
She has a good grasp with English.
Almost there. The correct phrase is, she has a good grasp of English. Now let's move to the next word. Sublime. This means something so beautiful or amazing that it feels almost perfect. Example phrase, the sunset was sublime. Now you can repeat.
The sunset was sublime.
You're very close, but the word is sublime, not blind. So the correct phrase is, the sunset was sublime.
Let's ask to repeat the phrases I did wrong according to ChatGPT. This will just provide an extra way to practice. Help me repeat the phrases where I made the mistakes, please.
Of course, the correct phrase is, she has a good grasp of English. So it's of instead of with. Now, can you repeat it?
She has a good grasp at English.
Almost there. The correct preposition is of, not at. So the phrase is, she has a good grasp of English.
She has a good grasp of English.
Perfect. You're getting it. Now let's move to the next word. Sublime. This means something so beautiful or amazing that it feels almost perfect. Example phrase, the view from the top was sublime.
The view from the top was sublime.
Perfect. You did an awesome job. Keep practicing and you'll continue improving.
Awesome! As you can see, this is an excellent exercise. If you say something that to a native will sound differently, it will tell you, it will let you know so you can correct it. If you've ever tried to have a conversation with a native English speaker, you will most certainly notice that they don't really correct you when you're speaking. This is because they're very polite, and this is a very good trait they have. At the same time, a little bit of correction definitely goes a long way when you're learning a language. Still, after this set of repetitions, I really doubt you can remember everything you said. To fix that, let's go on with way number 2. Repeating something back does wonders for your speaking skills. At the same time, it's not enough to fully remember and learn new words, new vocabulary and expressions. The brain needs to feel involved in the activity. It needs to do a little work. So let's tweak the previous exercise to add an extra challenge. Are you ready? Here is the prompt. Now, please repeat the same 5 original phrases one more time and pause after each phrase so I can repeat them. But this time, I'll change them a little bit. Please correct me after each phrase.
Got it. Let's start again. This is the sweet spot for the meeting. Now you can repeat.
This is the wrong sweet spot for the meeting.
Almost. Wrong changes the meaning. The correct phrase is, this is the sweet spot for the meeting. Now let's move to the next one. I have a tight schedule today. You can repeat.
I have an extremely tight schedule today.
Nice. That works too. You just added emphasis with extremely, which makes it sound even more urgent, but it's still correct. Now let's move on. She has a good grasp of English. You can repeat.
Well, she doesn't have a really good grasp of English.
Great. You made a small change by adding really. This still works. Keep going. You're doing great.
Alright, so I bet you're starting to understand these words, aren't you? Great. So, what's the definition of sublime? I bet you understand the meaning, but can't quite put it into words. That's okay, actually that's very common. The next secret way to use ChatGPT to become fluent and confident in English will help you with just that. This time we'll ask ChatGPT to define each word in a longer sentence. This way you have more time to process the description. Then we'll repeat the definition in our own words and provide an example. Let's begin. Please help me deepen my understanding of the previous 5 words. For each word, provide the complete definition, then pause. I'll explain the word using my own words, then I'll give you an example, and then you'll tell me if I'm correct.
Absolutely. Let's dive deeper into each word. Sweet spot. The sweet spot refers to the ideal or most effective point in a situation, activity, or object where everything works perfectly. It's where the balance is just right and the outcome is at its best. Now it's your turn. Please explain it in your own words and provide an example.
So the sweet spot is the middle place in between two options, probably the preferable one, the best one. For example, the sweet spot between light and shadow is something in between.
Great explanation. You're on the right track. The sweet spot is indeed about finding the best balance. However, it doesn't always have to be exactly in the middle. It can be any point where things work best or are most efficient. Now let's move to the next word, tight schedule. A tight schedule means a schedule that is very full and has little to no free time. You have many things to do in a short amount of time, so there's not much room for anything extra. Your turn.
Well, basically, a tight schedule is when I'm extremely busy, when I have a lot of things to do and not so much time. An example could be today I'm on a tight schedule and can't continue recording this video.
Exactly. You've got it. Now let's go to the next word. Grasp means to understand something deeply and clearly. It's when you fully comprehend a concept or idea, not just superficially, but in a way that you can explain it and use it confidently. Your turn.
So to grasp is whenever you really and deeply understand something so much you feel confident explaining it back. An example could be that I grasped the definition of the word grasp.
Exactly. You really got it. Now, let's move to the next one. Sublime describes something that is so beautiful, impressive, or awe-inspiring that it feels almost beyond ordinary experience. It's usually used to talk about things that make you feel wonder or admiration. Your turn. Explain it in your own words and give an example.
Sublime is when I like something very, very much and I'm almost without words because I can't express with words what I feel and the beauty I see in front of me.
Exactly. Your explanation is spot on. Now let's move to the last one. Manageable means something that is easy to handle, control, or deal with. It's not too difficult or overwhelming. It's within your ability to take care of or organize.
Manageable means something you can actually do, something you feel comfortable doing without any particular effort.
Perfect. You nailed it. You did an excellent job explaining all these words.
Awesome. This is absolutely great because it really helps you deepen your knowledge about these words. Express yourself, express your thoughts. ChatGPT is actually actively involved in helping you understand these words. It's like really having a tutor right next to you explaining everything. So far, you took 5 words, you learned their pronunciation, grasped their meaning, so it's finally time to use them into everyday conversations. For this exercise, we'll tell ChatGPT to tell us a phrase that doesn't use our new word, and we'll replace it using the new word instead. But we'll do that with a twist. So, here is the prompt. Provide 5 phrases, 1 for each word. Make it in a random order, so I never know which word you're talking about. Pause after each phrase and I will rephrase it using the right word instead.
Got it. Let's make this fun and challenging. Here we go. I have a very busy day and I need to make sure I complete everything on time. Now rephrase that.
I have a very tight schedule and need to make sure that everything is on time.
Exactly. Perfect rephrase. You nailed it. Let's move on. This project is easy to complete and I don't feel overwhelmed by it. Now rephrase that.
This project is absolutely manageable.
Perfect. You got it. Keep practicing like this and these words will become second nature in your conversations.
Alright, the next secret way to practice with ChatGPT will make you think harder, ask questions, and basically transform the whole thing into an intriguing dialogue that will raise your reasoning skills to an entirely new level. This game is simple. ChatGPT will create a riddle for each word, and you'll just have to guess it. A riddle is basically an explanation of the word made intentionally more difficult, requiring your ingenuity to understand.
What?
You'll get it. Here's the prompt. Take the same words and create 5 intriguing, difficult riddles, and in each riddle, the answer is one of the words I want to learn. Go in random order so I never know the solution and pause each riddle so I can guess. To guess the right word, I can ask you yes or no questions, and you can only answer with yes or no, without providing any other detail. Let's go.
Awesome challenge. Let's see how you do with these riddles. Here's the first one. I'm the moment where everything comes together, the time when everything clicks and works perfectly. People search for me, but only a few find me. What am I?
Are you something physical?
No.
Are you something I can see?
No.
You're the sweet spot.
Exactly. You got it right. The answer is the sweet spot. Now here's the next riddle. I'm when your time is packed with tasks and there's little room to breathe. You have a lot to do and every minute counts. What am I?
You're very busy.
Close. But that's not quite it.
Are you tight schedule?
Yes. The answer is tight schedule. Great job. Let's move on to the next one. I'm when you fully understand something and can explain it well. I'm the feeling of being confident in your knowledge. What am I?
Are you grasp?
Yes. Keep going. It's a great way to keep learning and improving.
Alright, as you could hear, this exercise really forces you to actively listen to everything ChatGPT says, so then you can actually try and guess it. And not only that, this exercise also teaches you how to properly ask questions, which I know this is something that many people actually struggle with. Because if you don't structure your phrase as a question, ChatGPT just doesn't answer. Alright, so the next one is, hold on, let me guess. You have already learned these words. I know, right? With these games, it's pretty straightforward. So, since I still got 2 more secrets to give away, how about we go with another set of words? This time, we'll look at straightforward, acquire, ingenuity, intriguing, and stating. And yes, if these words sound familiar, it's because I took them from this video. So, are you ready to exercise? Here is the prompt. Please help me understand these new words: straightforward, acquire, ingenuity, intriguing, stating. For each word, first you'll tell me the meaning using very simple words, and then you'll create a phrase each, one of which doesn't correctly use one of the words. I will have to spot the mistake, explain it, and correct it. Let's go.
Sure. Let's start with the first word. Straightforward means something that is simple, clear, and easy to understand or do. There's no confusion or complexity. Here's a phrase. His explanation was very straightforward. Take your time to think about it. When you're ready, let me know if you see any mistakes or if you'd like to move on.
I don't see any mistakes in this phrase. Please move on.
Great. Let's move to the next one. Acquire means to get or obtain something, usually by effort or learning. It's the act of gaining something over time. Here's a phrase. She acquired a new car yesterday. Think about it and let me know if you spot any mistakes.
I think there's a mistake here because you said that acquire is when you gradually get something over time.
You're right. Acquire usually refers to something you gain or get over time, not in an instant. Buying a car is more of an immediate action, so it's not the best example for acquire. Let's move to the next one. Intriguing means something that is very interesting and makes you want to learn more about it. Here's a phrase. The movie was intriguing, but it was very slow. Take your time to check it. Let me know if you find a mistake.
I don't think this phrase is right because if something is intriguing, it cannot be so slow. I associate slow with something boring.
Exactly. You're spot on. Intriguing implies something interesting and exciting, so pairing it with very slow creates a contradiction. You did a great job spotting and correcting the mistakes. Would you like to go over any of these words or phrases again?
Alright, we got to the last secret to practice English speaking with ChatGPT. And since we ordered this list from the easiest to the hardest, the last one must be particularly hard. Only the bravest will make it. Jokes apart, this exercise is extremely powerful for your English because it helps solve the biggest challenge of them all, explaining your ideas so that others will clearly and undoubtedly understand you. I know how frustrating it can be when you have to keep repeating yourself because the other person doesn't understand what you're saying. I've been there, and I know it can make you feel stuck and embarrassed. So let me help you fix that. This time it'll be your turn describing the words, but we are not gonna say the actual word in the description because we're gonna keep it a secret and we're gonna let ChatGPT guess it. Are you ready to unleash your full English power? Let's begin. I will describe one of the new words aloud without naming it, and you'll have to guess which word I'm describing. You can ask yes or no questions, and I can only answer yes or no. Let's begin.
Sounds fun. Go ahead and describe the word, and I'll start asking questions.
Alright, so this word means when you slowly get something over time.
Is this word related to gaining something?
Yes.
Is the word acquire?
Yes, it is. Well done.
Thanks. That was fun. Ready for the next word whenever you are.
Alright, so this word describes when something is very easy and sometimes even fast.
Is this word related to something interesting or exciting?
No,
Is this word intriguing?
it's not.
Is the word related to something clever or creative?
You got it. Yes, it's easy and simple to understand.
Ah, so the word is straightforward, right?
You got it. Yes, it is. It is straightforward. Well done.
Thanks. I'm glad I got it right again. You're making this a fun challenge.
This exercise, my friend, is absolutely great because it makes you believe you can speak English, or it makes you realize what you need to do to get there. And the best thing is that there's no judgment. It's a machine after all. It can make you feel bad if it doesn't understand you. So you can try again and again until you make it. But there's another level to these exercises, a level no machine can achieve. It's called speaking with humans. Yes, that's right. Is there a safe and reliable website where you can practice speaking English with real people? Yes, there is. And in this video, I'm not only gonna tell you about it, but I'll also show you how to turn a normal conversation into the same powerful exercise actors use to become amazing at speaking. So you can learn to speak English naturally and confidently just like they do. I'll see you there. Cheers.